Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. Not every movie can be all about sex and violence. Sometimes you need something that challenges your mind and reality. Tonight's movie, Closed Circuit.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! Yes, all hope is lost. And yes, hope is lost. But I thought, after maybe a couple episodes of sleaziness, let's tone it down a bit and maybe talk about a movie that's more about the plot and its sort of interesting philosophical meanings. A movie that kind of surprised me, but the premise was really interesting. And so I decided, hey, you know what? Maybe not the most violent, maybe not the most splatterific, maybe not the most exploitative, yet it's definitely an interesting film, and the horrors of its implications are maddening. And that movie is Closed Circuit. Yes, Closed Circuit. And made-for-TV Italian film. Yes, I know. But, you know, the thing is, I've done a made-for-TV film before. It was called A Blade in the Dark, and that was bloody and had nudity and stuff like that. So, you know, I would say Italian televisions probably have different standards than American television. So anyways, let's get into it. What is Closed Circuit about? Well, it is about a movie theater and the crowd going to watch a Western, yes. And it's a myriad of different people with different stories and different attitudes and wants and desires. I mean, it's an eclectic crowd, and they all are gathering in this theater to watch this film. And of course, the people who work at the theater, the ushers, the ticket takers, the concession stand person, you know, they served like a beer to a guy, man. Whew. I mean, I know now that's more common, man. But back, man, when I was growing up, like, beer at a theater was like unheard of. Anyways, but let's move on. So, anyways, during this Western, a man comes in and sits next to this young couple, pisses off the guy in the seat behind him because he's like, oh, all the seats I chose. Whatever. Anyways, and there is a showdown, and the Western guy, the cowboy, draws his gun, points it, and fires, and boom! The man in the seat is shot and dead. And of course, the crowd panics. The theater owners, they're all like, oh, lock the doors, you know, get the police, we can't let anyone out, whatever. Police show up, and they go through an investigation to figure out what happened. And of course, it means interviewing all the different people, and there's all kinds of weird things going on. A guy who's like going back behind the screen and stuff like this. There's a weird guy who's writing stuff in his like notebook. It seems to be like leaving right at the time that things are going on. There's also the reason why the guy decided to go sit next to these people. There are a couple criminals who are, well, not in the best place now because they're locked down and the police are investigating a lot of things. There's just so many weird things. There's like a couple having a rendezvous, probably in a more adulterous type of situation. Anyways, there's a myriad of characters, and all of them may or may not have certain, motivations to commit crime and whatever. And so it's up to the police to figure out what happened. And of course, they're sort of stumped because they can't figure it out. They send the bullet out to ballistics, but it's going to take a while for ballistics to come back, and we can't just, you know, keep everyone locked in the theater indefinitely, but they're going to do it. And so they decide, well, you know what? Let's reenact the scene. reenact the scene, run the movie, have everyone stay where they are to kind of like, get a better, idea of like what happened. And of course they reenact, we get to the scene, the cowboy pulls his gun, points, fires, boom, it kills the guy sitting in the seat again, except this was a different guy who volunteered to sit in the death seat. And oh my goodness, now who knows what's going on? So will the police be able to figure out what's going on? Who's the killer? And will anyone else meet an untimely death at this mysterious gunfire? Well, you'll have to watch the movie to find out. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore. I am going to give this a 0.5 out of 5. There are 3... Maybe that could be considered a spoiler, but I guess, like, whatever, I've already said it. There's 3 people who die in this movie. And it's not very bloody. So, 0.5 out of 5. All right. Moving on to shock value, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Mainly because of the shocking reveal at the end and its implications and the questions it raises. It's strange, like that last, part is like, what's going on? What, how is, anyways, and I've got some ideas of like how you probably could avoid this situation, but that's, neither here nor there. But yeah, it's shocking. 2 out of 5. Moving on to plot, and this is where it stands out. It's a 4 out of 5. This is a crime thriller, sort of detective whodunit mystery type of thing. And some people might say that the ending betrays all of it and that it might be even a cop-out, but I think I love the ending. I love how what went on is just weird and horrific, and the implications are massive. But I can see why some people would be maybe a little off-put by it and think of it as like, oh yeah, you created this crazy scenario and then you just sort of like, instead of like creating a sort of logical real world situation, I'm trying to be vague, because I don't want to spoil it, but and then we kind of go away from that. I think some people might be a little ticked off about, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was great, and I was trying, like, the whole movie, even though there's not a lot of action, there's a lot of dialogue. It kept me engaged because it was like, what is going on? How are we going to solve this? How are we going to figure it out? Who could be doing this? We've got all these, and the thing is that the stories about the individual people in the theater are interesting enough to create, this sort of Hitchcockian feel onto this movie. And also, like, there's several shots of the poster for the perfume of the Lady in Black, which, I reviewed earlier this month, and it's sort of like, I don't know, talking about like the psychology of things. It's such a unique type of thing, and it was enthralling and interesting, and I was kind of like edge of my seat trying to like figure out where are we going to go with this and what's going to happen. And when we got there, it was like, wow, sweet, horrible, sweet, and honestly kind of wanted more. But anyways, 4 out of 5. Moving on to acting, I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. Look, this is an Italian film. It's in Italian. I'm reading subtitles. Sometimes it's hard, but honestly, I think the performances are really good. I like the inspector, how he is just like confused by the situation. Like, he's really trying to get at it. The individual characters in the theater, I think they do a great job playing the characters that they are. They feel unique, and they aren't melodramatic. They do the things that they got to do, and it's really a wonderful job altogether. So kudos, 4 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, and it says 0 out of 5. I mean, yeah, I guess there could have been some. I've seen scenes in movie theaters where guys get a lot handsy and things get popped out. It's not happening in this movie, unfortunately. So no one goes off into the restroom while the lockdown's going to have a little session or whatever. No, nothing like that's happening. 0 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor, I am giving it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this movie. I liked its the sort of strange twist at the end, and I just sometimes I wanna watch a mystery. I am a fan of mysteries, and a good head scratcher and stuff like that. And like I said, some people might think like the ending is ridiculous, and I can understand that, but for me it was great, and I didn't think of it, and it really stood out. And like I said, the implications of it are fucking crazy. Anyways, also like the whole philosophy of the situation that's going on, and the thing about like reality and everything is really interesting too. So 4 out of 5, and my overall impression is a 4 out of 5. A very good film that doesn't need the violence, doesn't need the gore, doesn't need the sex and the nudity. A pure example of how story-driven narrative doesn't even have a lot of action, but just a way to create an interesting situation that makes you think and makes you wonder, and then you are basically caught in there following along with the events, trying to figure out things while everyone else is trying to figure out things. And I think it's wonderfully done. It says on the back here, intriguing and beautifully made. And, I agree, there we go. An eccentric meditation on the power of celluloid. Also agree with that. Anyways, going to the movies can be murder, and yeah, it can be. So, yeah, 4 out of 5, and that averages out to a 2.6 out of 5. So once again, the average score doesn't always is not always indicative of the quality of the movie, just the kind of quantities inside the movie. But oh man, it is a fun movie. I mean, for me, it's fun. Like, see, this is the thing. That's why I've got to say, it's like I recommend it for people who like to think. This is not a dumb shove popcorn in your mouth type movie. If you're looking for that, no, this is not going to do it. But a movie that's going to make you think, that you have to pay attention to the narrative, that you have to pay attention to the dialogue, and of course you got to read subtitles. So some people will be like, I can't do that, oh whatever, So it's definitely not a movie for everyone, but it hits certain parts of my heart and my psyche that I really, really do enjoy. And once again, it's a powerful testament that, you don't always need to, sorry, still got that kind of phlegm stuff going. That's my style, sir. And so we've crossed the bridge and fought the troops on. I don't know if that was a sharp reference for any of you guys who might have known, the Simmersons. I've got friends I've got a cousin at Horse Guard and friends at court. Oh, dang. Sorry, guys. Anyways, 2.6 out of 5. I recommend this movie. But yeah, not for everyone. So be warned, if you want all action, blood, and guts, that's not going to be it here. But it is a testament that, I do actually have a range when it comes to movies that I like. And it doesn't always have to be like super violent, bloody, disgusting stuff. Even though I love super violent, bloody, disgusting stuff with lots of tits. All right, but anyways, there we go. Closed circuit. I doubt anyone else has watched this who's watching this, man. But if they did, leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me if you agree with me, disagree with me, all that stuff. And I will, talk to you guys later for the next episode. But remember to rate, comment, subscribe, ring the bell notification, yada, yada, yada. Wish me to get all the phlegm out of my system so I'm not all gravelly and coffee and all that stuff anyways. But until then, stay scary, internet, and remember, always, proper theater etiquette, people. Proper theater etiquette. See, his mistake was showing up late to the film. Don't be late to the film, because you're going to have to find a seat. But now a lot of places have assigned seating anyways. Well, I guess that would add a new layer to the whole mystery thing. But, I mean, still, first of all, yeah, if it's not assigned to seating, don't show up late. If you're going to be late, then just don't show up at all. I mean, you're buying the ticket. You're not buying, in this movie, you're not buying the tickets in advance. So don't be rude like that, because you got, people will see you shuffle it around. And then, of course, you sit right next to some people and then in front of some other person and you piss them off. And, seriously, at that point, you know what? I think you deserve to get shot. Honestly, dude, just wait till the next show. Oh my goodness, you've missed half the movie. I mean, how can you even I don't understand. Is I'm gonna watch half the movie. Yeah, who cares about the beginning? I'm all for the end. Yeah, it's I don't get it. I don't. Maybe maybe this is a little nitpicky. All just but I mean, just be quiet. Turn off your cell phones. Don't yell and shit like that. If you gotta talk to your friend, try to do it quietly, whatever. Keep your distance from other people and, just have people enjoy the show. And if you don't have to, don't get up in the middle of the show. Don't come in the middle of the show. All that stuff. I know sometimes, you drank too much of that super jumbo soda. Now you've got to piss like a racehorse. I understand that. That's fine. You can go. I'm just saying, theater etiquette, people. Theater etiquette. Anyways, too much of a rant. Okay.